I'm Richard Clarke. Ramana Maharshi's teachings are deep and profound. Listen each day to deepen your practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 496. A Swami belonging to Sri Ramakrishna Mission had a very interesting conversation with Sri Bhagavan, in the course of which Sri Bhagavan observed, Maharshi, avidya, ignorance, is the obstacle for knowing your true nature, even in the present moment. Questioner, how is one to get over avidya? Maharshi, ya na vidyate sa avidya. What is not is avidya. So it is itself a myth. If it really be, how can it perish? Its being is false, and so it disappears. In this dialogue, a Swami from the Ramakrishna Mission asked Sri Ramana Maharshi about the nature of avidya, or ignorance, and how to overcome it. This is a fundamental question because avidya is seen as the main barrier to realizing the self. Ramana's response addresses the heart of non-dual teachings. Avidya is not something that truly exists. It is only an illusion or a misconception. The problem arises because we identify with the ego and the mind, which creates a sense of separation from the self. In this separation, ignorance is experienced as a kind of veil that prevents you from realizing your true nature. When the Swami asks, how does one get over avidya, Ramana points out that ignorance is not a real thing. He uses the phrase yana vidyate sa avidya, which means what does not exist is avidya. In other words, ignorance only seems to exist because you believe in the reality of the ego and the mind. The moment you see that these are not who you are, ignorance loses its grip. If avidya were real, it would be eternal and could never disappear. But because it has no true being of its own, it vanishes when the truth of self is known. Ramana's teachings here bring you back to self-inquiry. The more you question the reality of the ego and the mind, asking, who am I?, the more clearly you see that the self is all there is. Avidya, which relies on the false identification with the mind and body, dissolves on its own. The truth of the self is always present. Ignorance is just a shadow created by a misunderstanding. Ramana Maharshi's message is clear. You don't need to overcome avidya by force or effort. You overcome ignorance by knowledge. You recognize the non-existence of avidya by realizing the self. It's not a matter of gaining new knowledge, but of letting go of false beliefs. When you stop identifying with the ego and see that the self is your true nature, ignorance naturally disappears, as it never truly existed in the first place. So, know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.